Welcome back. Have you ever made some mistakes and then was really hard on yourself because you was thinking, I shouldn't have made those mistakes in the first place? However, you made those mistakes, and now I want to talk to you today about how to not be so hard on yourself when you do make mistakes, because mistakes are bound to happen. It is a way that we learn how to be better or different as time goes on. So we must look at making mistakes differently than we do today currently, so you're not cringing every time that you make a mistake, or as I just mentioned, being very hard on yourself, punishing yourself because you've made these mistakes that you feel you should have never made in the first place. But I'm gonna give you some things to think about. Before I do that, I am Marshawn Olanio. I am a shift relationship strategist where I help Black Christian women that are married or in long-term relationships to stop feeling disconnected and unloved and shift you to feeling heard, understood, and appreciated via my books, my digital courses, as well as my group coaching program that I have for Black Christian women, where we talk about how to make yourself better, love on yourself better because you're worth it, and then also how to create and establish a healthy romantic relationship as well. But it all starts with you, sis. It all starts with you. So now let's jump into this is all about you today, because you're the person who's making the mistake, but you're also the same person who's being hard on yourself because you did make that mistake or mistakes. Listen, mistakes are bound to happen. Sometimes we do things that we don't mean to do. Now, there are intentional mistakes and there are unintentional mistakes. I'm specifically talking about the unintentional mistakes, but sometimes we know that intentional mistakes happen because maybe we weren't listening well enough, for example. And so we start to do something because we weren't listening, we get it all wrong. And then maybe we have to start all over again because, again, we weren't listening. So there are intentional mistakes as well as unintentional mistakes. So let's talk about how to not be so hard on yourself when you do make a mistake or five, right? So the first thing that I want you to think about is to view your mistakes as stepping stones. Because listen, when we learn from them, then you don't have to repeat them. Like, I love the way that Oprah puts it. She says that God gets your attention via your mistakes. And guess what? You will not have to repeat these mistakes if you learn the lesson. And if you did not learn the lesson, then you will get some remedial work in the form of another pair of pants, meaning another guy that comes around who's going to teach you the exact same lesson because you did not learn it the first time around. So just look at them as stepping stones. It is something that happens to all of us. Mistakes happens to all of us, and all of us can look back and say, I regret doing. Why did I do that? Like, we have this negative self-talk, but some people, and if you're watching this video, you're probably extra hard on yourself, or now you can't go and do X, Y, and Z, or you can't have that piece of dessert. But the list keeps going on and on. It's not like one thing. You go down the rabbit hole of punishing yourself. And I want you to look at mistakes differently. So that's why we're here today. View them as stepping stones instead of why did I do that, and being extra hard on yourself. Because listen, also mistakes are lessons in disguise. As I just mentioned, you don't have to repeat the lesson if you learn it. If you don't learn it, which is why some people that you know keep running into the same men, and even men, they run into the same woman who has a different face, maybe even wear different types of clothing, but she's the same. She has the same type of attitude or treats them the exact same way. And this is the same thing with women and men as well. You're married to the same type of guy or keep dating the same type of guy. You're wondering why he's not emotionally available. It's because you have not learned the lesson that you need to first look for and make sure that the man is emotionally available before you get attached to him. Or maybe you keep running into men that their finances keep going downhill. Like, I have a client who said that this is the third or fourth guy that she's been with where he was financially stable when they met, and then all of a sudden life took a toll, and then he basically became her dependent. And so she's trying to root from, right? Because he's going to crawl himself out of this hole. And then before you know it, he's been in the hole for 2-3 years. But you was financially stable before we met, like 6-figure plus. And now you can't figure out how to get out of this depression state so you can either make this exact same amount or more, or even somewhere around it. But no, she just noticed that they just tank, they go all the way downhill. And so she hasn't learned the lesson that she is a part of trying to help the man become more financially stable. But it's very taxing and tiresome for her to keep going down that same road over and over and over again. So you must learn the lesson. Mistakes are lessons in disguise. The second thing that I want you to think about is to become more resilient. We become more resilient when we make mistakes, because nobody is going to give up, or at least most of us. Most of us will not give up when we make the mistakes. And being more resilient makes you become more stronger. It forces you to face the adversity and to learn the hard lessons. Learn the hard lessons for sure. Because when you're not learning how to handle these hard lessons, you're going to keep repeating them. You must figure out how to handle the tough lessons that you're learning. And then also think about mistakes as being one piece, two pieces, five pieces, whatever, of a larger puzzle of your life. This is not the end of your life. It is a small portion of your life. And if and when you learn the lessons, so you're not being so hard on yourself, you'll say, you know what? This happened today. And guess what? It don't ever have to happen again. Because now you're being more intentional about how you're showing up, the things that you are accepting, how you're putting yourself out there. Are you coming off as desperate? Like whatever the mistake is, I'm talking about relationship mistakes, but this can absolutely happen in your job, on your career. It can happen in a plethora of ways about the mistakes that we make. It literally could have been a job that you've taken. It's like, oh my God, why did I do this to myself? And you're literally regretting it, but you're being too hard on yourself. Take the lesson, learn it, and now start looking for another job or another career. I didn't say it was going to be easy, but I am saying that you are writing your life's story. Or look at it this way, you are writing your history right now. And so what do you want your legacy to be about? Do you want it to be about you being more resilient and learning the lessons and keep pushing through? Or do you want it to be, well, she gave up? She gave up. She was tired. So she just stopped. She threw in the towel. You have to choose. You have to choose. The last thing, in order to make mistakes and then not be so hard on yourself, is to make sure that you are surrounded by people that are feeding into you and not taking away from you. Because let's be real, there are a lot of toxic people out here. And the truth be told is if you have a lot of toxic people in your life, it's because you yourself have some toxicity going on, sis. Like, we can't always blame and point the finger outwardly. We have to look internally about what we're bringing to the table and how we're showing up. And why do I have so many toxic people in my life? It might not necessarily be that you're trying to be a part of that group, but you don't know how to break away. You can't say no. You have to be around them. So it's something about you that is saying, I need to be treated this way. So you need to figure out what that thing is, because you have the power to not have these toxic people in your life, no matter who they are. Because I know I get some people that, oh, well, it's my mom or it's my sister. If you want the toxicity, then keep those people around. And here's the thing, I'm not saying drop them forever, but until you understand exactly who you are and are able to stand up and speak up for yourself to these toxic people, then you need to take a back seat into being around them all the time so much. So you can figure out who you are, the things that you want, the things that make you glow, the things that make you happy every time you do them. Figuring out what the hobbies are, and then surrounding yourself with more and more people. Because the more that you surround yourself with new groups of people, especially when you're headed down a pathway that not many of your current friends and family members are headed down, sometimes you need to put a pause on them so you can get you together. This might even mean getting your new career or another career together, getting everything in alignment, and then coming back and just hanging out with them from time to time. Because you're not going to be able to take everybody with you. Everybody's not meant to walk the path with you. They're just not. And so you have to come to accept the fact that you have to be strong enough to say no, to not be a people pleaser, to understand that, hey, it's okay. It's okay if I'm the different one, because I'm okay being the different one. So your mistakes does not have to define you today, tomorrow, or any other day. So stop being so hard on yourself, sis. All of us make mistakes, including myself. Everybody in your life and just people all around the world, all of us have made mistakes that we're not proud of doing and wish we could rewrite that. But you can't. You just have to do better the next time around. So learn the lessons. Look at all your mistakes and figure out what the lesson is in them so you don't have to repeat them. Now, if you need some help with this, look for the link down in the description box below. It's bit.ly/help my relationship. Help is with a capital H. Help my relationship is all one word. This is where you're going to get a free 30-minute strategy conversation where I'm going to help you with one thing in your life to stop you and guide you from doing what's keeping you stuck and help you move into a better tomorrow where you really want to be. You don't have to be hard on yourself, and understand that you're not alone. And a lot of times we hold these things in because we think that we are alone, that nobody has been down this road but me. But it's just not true. It's just not true. Maybe you just don't know somebody that can help you talk through it so you can feel good, so you actually can take the steps to help you be a better woman, a better wife, a better mother, a better sibling, a better daughter. I am Marshawn Olanio. I'm your favorite shift relationship strategist. Stop being so hard on yourself when you make mistakes, because mistakes are bound to happen. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.